friends. Happy day 4 of the brush Blitz. I apologize for being a few minutes late. I don't have brows on today because guess what? We're doing brows today because this collection, which is 30% off, features 4 brushes, literally your BFFs. It's called the Brush BFFs because it's all your best friends, just lighting, all your best friends in one collection. So this collection is discounted at 30% off and it is $87 US, 122 Canadian dollars. So if you are wanting just a different kind of to expand in your collection, feature a different application style. My stick is too thick for the hole that's in here, so we're gonna kind of jam it in. This will give you a light coverage, okay? But you'll be able to build, as I always tell you, build your coverage, okay? You start off smaller and then build your coverage. So it features the detail brush, the blend brush, which is right here. You guys, this is $87. This brush alone is $40. That just goes to tell you. This brush alone is $35, I want to say. So you're getting a rockin' deal with this. It features the eyeshadow brush and the line brush. So the line brush is what I'm going to be doing my brows with. And yes, your collection, your palette can hold your eyebrows as well. So this is the palette that I'm going to be working out of today. This has all of my foundation. This is the brow wax that I'm going to be showing you how to use. A lot of people get this and they're like, it looks empty. I don't know how to do it. So this is going to be for you too. I'm going to start out with that brow wax too. So if you're only here for the brow wax, we'll get going on that pretty quickly. And then on the other side is my balm, which I love to use just in different places. I love to use it to make a cream eyeshadow, but today I'm going to just be putting it on my lips to keep my lips really sheer. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be teaching you today. This is the collection. I just cleaned my brush really quick because it was dirty, but now I get to use it. If you don't have this brush cleanser, add this in today. You'll get free shipping with this collection. This brush cleanser keeps your bristles conditioned as well because it contains neem oil in it. So this is the collection. I see I should probably clean this, but I don't really have to. This is the detail brush that comes in it. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be using for my contour today. This is the blend brush. This is a beautiful brush for a light coverage. Like I said, buildable light coverage brush. Okay. I also love to use this brush to apply my powder illuminators. Powder illuminators are so pigmented, and if you use a dense brush, that will not move on your face. That is one that I say with this, like this makeup is foolproof, but the powder illuminators, you want this brush to apply. Something light and airy, such as the blend brush. The wash brush from the Demi line is also a really great one, but this is so good. Maybe I can use that today. And then this is the eyeshadow brush, or we'll save that for another day. This is the eyeshadow brush that comes in it. Okay, these are all double-ended, so you're getting 8 brushes in one today. And then here's the line brush. This goes straight up when you receive it, but I turn it this way to do my eyebrows, and you'll see in just a moment. It has this beautiful angled end to be able to fill in your eyebrows. Some people say to do it as eyeliner. I don't recommend it. I think it's very pokey, and this part of our eye is very sensitive, so I think it will not hurt, but it will poke you and it will tickle you, which will make your eyes water. So I recommend the multitasker brush for applying eyeliner. But this is so great if you want to do like a wing on the outside. Okay, so let's kind of get started first doing our eyebrows. And if any of you have any questions throughout this, please don't hesitate to ask. My incense went out, so I'm going to do this. I just experienced just a little bit of a conversation, which I just had to end because it wasn't worth my time, over on Instagram. This girl found me and has decided to just kind of be a nuisance. So we're purifying that energy right now because it is not worth my time. Moving that stuff on out. So just purifying with this incense. Black cobalt, one of my favorites. Okay, so getting started. Say hello as you come on. Just gearing up for the day 4. Brush. So, okay, brow wax first. So here it is. I will tell you, I get pretty aggressive with my spoolie in doing this. So I'm going to show you because I really like to emulsify and get this in. I have gnarly eyebrows. They're microbladed. I'm actually getting them done in a couple weeks because it's been a year. So they're kind of fading. But what I do is you want to get your brow wax wet. You can just use water or any type of setting spray that you have. This is the setting spray from Saint. Very, very light and beautiful for sensitive skin. So I just put it in there. It kind of has the smell of like tropics. Okay. And then I just take my spoolie and I emulsify it around in my brow wax. Now your spoolie is attached with like a screw type of motion. So if it starts to come unscrewed because you're doing that, then just you can tighten it there. Okay, so then what I do is I just take the brow wax and I go this is the reason why I do my brows before I do my foundation, because as you can see, I just really put it on and I get it all over every single shaft of every single strand of my hair. Okay, so then I go back into the brow wax and I put it on the other side. And now as it needs to dry, you guys, so this brow wax needs to dry. You can also do this if you use the like dip brow from Anastasia. You can use this spoolie end for that. I'm going to show you that in just a second. But if you have gnarly brows like I do, you want to do some type of a brow wax. I love that this one fits in our compact and it just works magnificent. So like I said, I just kind of get it in and it will start to become tacky. That's what you want it. You want it to become tacky and you'll start to feel it as it dries, okay? So you need to put the brow wax on wet. Do any of you guys have the brow wax? I'm so curious. It really is such a great product when you use it correctly. It has to be done wet. So like I said, spritz the setting spray or whatever type of spray that you have. And that's why I do this before I do my eyebrows. That's why a lot of times when you guys see me come on to do tutorials, my eyebrows are already done because I really get at them. Okay, so once you have them, they'll start to kind of dry. And just kind of clean up around that area. You can take one of your refresh wipes or you can just use your finger to kind of get all of that. That smells so good, you guys. I wish you could scratch and sniff the screen. It smells so, so good. Okay, so as that starts to settle, I just take this, okay, and I love to push on it because I still have brow wax in my spoolie. So as you can see, look at that. See how it's starting to get tacky? I'm getting up close and personal with you guys. See how it's starting to get tacky and it's putting my brows in the place that I want. So if you have curly brows or they just don't lay the way that you want them to, this brow wax will be your literal best friend too. It's like, maybe that's why Saint called this brush Blitz the brush BFF. Okay, so can you see the difference in my two brows? Is that not magical? Okay. Then we're going to go over to the other side. And like I said, I push with my spoolie because my brows are pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't work well with me. So I really kind of have to put a lot of effort into my brows and the spoolie alone. So I love to put a little bit of pressure there. Okay. So look at already how they're going into place, and it's because they're tacky. I also love, so this kind of gives you that lamination look, and then afterwards I just press it with my finger so that it lays flat against my face. because otherwise my brows will like stick straight out and they'll be bushy. Okay, so that is how you use the brow wax. Now I'm just gonna go in with the other side. This is my Anastasia. You can use your contour if you want. My contour, I have olive in mine, so I don't wanna put that on my brows because it'll turn my brows kind of orangey red. Great contours for brows though is Shadow. Shadow is a great one because it's super ashy. It's very, very cool. Olive contour though is great for redheads. You can also use some of the eyeshadows too, but I prefer cream to give that look. So going in with my Anastasia, I am just applying this. And like I said, you can use your contour for this too. And then I turn the brush at an angle like this. So it's at this angle, but now I turn it so that it's straight up. And I just draw a line like that. So this is such a great tool to use for your eyebrows. And look at how little a product I've used for this dip brow. And a little bit goes such a long way. And this will give you brow-like flicks so that it's natural and airy. And as you can see, I started out in the area that I wanted the most pigment, and then I'm kind of working my way to the areas that I want that are light and fluffy. Okay. So who would have thought everything? And like I said, if you want everything to be in your compact, I can color match you to a brow shade. But look at that. So brows, you can also use your brush. You want to kind of come in right here where your nostril is. That's where it wants to start. And then come to the corner of your eye, and that's where you want the tail to end. So use your brush in that. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this side kind of quick. If you guys have any questions for me, now is the time to kind of ask. I can answer those. But like I said, my brows take me the longest to do. That's why pretty much all the time I come on to do my tutorials and share with y'all when they're done. But brows are also something that can kind of make or break our makeup as well. I think that brows, personally, in my opinion, are a must. They are a staple. I think every woman should have her brows done. I do like a bold brow, you guys, so you definitely don't have to do it as bold as I am doing. It can be whatever you want. If you want them to look more natural, I recommend using an eyeshadow of ours. Oak is a really, really great one. Philly is a really great one as well because, and like Labyrinth. Labyrinth is great if, because it has more of a green undertone, so it's very ashy, you guys. So that is a great one to have. I'm just gonna kind of get this squared off right there. Okay, so those are some really great eyebrows colors. So if you need help with picking an eyebrow color out, then let me know. Okay, so brows done. That's what I use the line brush for. I'm just gonna clean this off really quick because that's quite a bit of makeup I don't want sitting on here. Now to clean the spoolie end of your line brush, I just rinse it under water to get all the brow wax off, and then it'll be ready to go for the next time, okay? And that way you can keep your bristles really deep and conditioned, okay? Moving on to the next brush that's in the collection. I'm gonna start out with my contour first. So using the detail brush, I'm gonna clean this brush really quick too before I use it. I like to start off my detail brushes with a clean brush. I like all my brushes to be really clean. I mean, who am I kidding? So, okay, so detail. So using this brush, I'm gonna use it for contour. There's so many different uses for this, you guys. I've seen women use this brush for their highlight color and using for their entire makeup, but we're talking about the 4 brushes that come in the collection, so this is how I would use them in doing all of this. So I'm not gonna lie. Okay, And then maybe two, there is, I can show you guys because, no, I'm getting off. Again, you guys, this is where I have so much fun because there's so many different uses, but I'm gonna stick to my original game plan. So I'm gonna go into my contour color right here, and I'm just going to put my contour on my brush. Contour is always thicker. So if you guys are new to this makeup and you haven't experienced it before, when your makeup arrives, you can dig into your contour a little bit more. Do not do that with your highlight color because you will pick up way too much product. Okay, so I'm placing my contour and then I'm placing it right here. So when you place your contour, think of a number 3. Okay, and then we're gonna just come down and around your jawline. Sometimes I like to apply my contour first when I want a lighter application because when you put your contour on, then you can just fill in the gaps with your highlight color, which is your main foundation color that I'll color match you to, or that I've already color matched you to, and then you don't need as much makeup. So your contour, a little fact for you, did you know that it acts as a second foundation? It has coverage to it. So that's why you can put it on and keep it one layer of makeup. And I think that's a pretty cool thing. Okay, down the edges of the throat, because as you know, if you're not new here, I do this every single time. Okay, so now that I have my highlight or my contour on, I don't contour my nose until I have my highlight. I will say that is one thing that I wait until afterwards, okay? To be able to do. I always contour my nose after I have my highlight on. Okay, so now this is the blend brush. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my highlight shade right now. My main highlight shade is Athens, and I'm just going to dip in and I'm going to start applying my highlight shade everywhere that my contour is not. Okay, hello you guys. I'm so glad that Facebook is hopefully telling you guys that I am live now. So this color is your main shade. So it's light reflective. It has color correction in it. You do not need to color correct if you're using this as a color correction. Okay, you can already see how that brightened up my dark under eyes. So when I'm using only 3D foundation and I'm not using my color correctors alone, I always put my darkest shade, my main highlight shade that I've color matched you to, under my eyes first. Then I'll apply my accent highlight. And I'll show you guys that in just a moment. But you always want to correct with the darkest shade first, because if you're correcting with the lightest shade first, then you're using it as a concealer. Concealer doesn't correct, it only brightens, and then it actually turns the darkness to a gray color. So you want to make sure that under your eyes, you're using a very, very light application of your main highlight shade. And then just make sure that you really feather that out and press it in with the stippling motion so that you don't get creasing and you don't have any excess product right there. Okay, so now that I have that all on, I pick up my blend brush and I just delete the harsh lines that my contour had. Okay, and I love doing this with my contour brush because then I don't lighten my contour brush with this one, and then I feel like all of my contour went away. Okay, and that's why I love creams, because they move with your face and they stay put. Okay, so now I can go in and contour my nose. So I'm gonna take my detail brush, and this is how I like to contour my nose. I call it the stamp method. So I'm just going to stamp a line right there, and then stamp a line on this side. Now this works for some, it doesn't work for all, so you just have to experiment with it. And then I flip over to this side that's completely clean, and I just, again, feather out that harsh line. So that's how I like to contour my nose. And then I'll flip over to so you can see where the darkness is on that, what I dipped into my contour. I flip this side over and I go into, you can either use your accent highlight or your main highlight, and I just stamp right in the center. Sometimes this is perfect for anybody who is not great at drawing a straight line. Okay, so there you go. That's how I use the detail brush to contour my face. Okay, so next, moving on, we're going to apply our illuminator. Okay, so I'm gonna just use my ring finger, and this color is Angel. I love to apply my cream illuminators under my blush for a peekaboo effect. And this is going to be where you, kind of where the sun hits. So on the high points of your pretty features. So high points of your cheekbone. I like to do the high points of the apples of the cheek as well. And then the tip of the nose right here. Now, if I wasn't teaching this, you guys, I would have this done in like 5 minutes. My Cupid's bow. And then I love to put it right here on my brow bone. So those are all the places that I love to put my illuminator. And you'll notice I haven't done my accent highlight yet. I like to do that at the end personally. Just in case my blush gets too high, you'll kind of see that. Okay, so now that I have that done, this is a really pretty illuminator too. This is called Angel, and it's like a pinky. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really pretty. It has just like a purpley pink. I love it. Okay, so next what we're gonna do is do our blush. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this same brush that I did to apply my main shade of highlight. I'm using Baby Watermelon. It's also so pretty and so pigmented. Okay, really pretty pink. I'm not gonna put it that pigmented on my face. So using this brush, I just tap in, I don't know, a couple of times, and then I just apply it, and I kind of just get a feel for it. Again, it's just like your foundation, so you can build it on. If you like this color of pink, check out Ruby too. Ruby is a beautiful, bright magenta pink. And I just kind of tap this all in. And this is where I like to place blush. Everybody likes blush in a different area, but this is what works for my face, okay? There we go. So the reason I like to do my accent highlight last is because sometimes I will get my blush down here and I get it too high up, and I don't want to have to apply more makeup. Let's say if I already did my accent highlight, I'm like, shoot, I have to now like tone that blush down and bring it down so that I have more light in this area. So I always wait until the end just in case I mess up. So luckily I didn't today, but sometimes I do. So using this small end, I'm gonna go into my accent highlight, which is called Linen. And I'm just going to apply that right here on the inner corners of my eyes to brighten this area. And then on the outer corners of my eyes to create lift. So as we age, this area loses its elasticity, and so we need to do this little trick to bring lift into that area. Okay, you can also do it right here to the outer corners of your lips. This brush is magic. Rhonda, this is the one that you were interested in, the blend brush. It's so great. I said at the beginning of the live too, I don't think you were on yet. If you're still here, I don't think you were on yet, but this is so great too to apply your powder illuminators if powder illuminators are your thing, if you like sparkle. Okay, so there is that. And I also like to apply my accent highlight as a base for my eyeshadow because it just brings lightness to the tops of my lids. And then we are doing just a quick eyeshadow look. I picked out a few colors that I thought would be pretty for today. Look how pretty that is. If you tend to crease underneath of your eyes, make sure that you grab the Perfector sponge. Let me go grab it really quick. This really, or if you have deeper pores, this perfector sponge will remove any excess makeup and press this makeup into your skin. If you are oily, this is a must have, okay? So what it does is it removes any excess makeup that you might have gotten a little bit too much of, because sometimes if we put too much on, it almost sits on our pores and doesn't become a second skin. This perfector sponge will make your makeup become even more of a second skin. So grab this with your bundle today, with your collection today, or your makeup or anything if you have that issue. This is also a great way to set your makeup with the Stay Setting Spray that I used for my brow wax. I just spritz it on and then I set my makeup with the spray if you don't want powder to set your makeup. I do stay away from my nose and my chin though, because those are the hardest areas on our face and they tend to just remove the makeup, I feel, so I only keep it on the more mushy parts of my face. Okay, so going into the bottom part of my compact, down here I have this pretty eyeshadow combo. And I'm gonna use the eyeshadow brush that comes in the collection today. So, I have, what colors do I have? I have Butterscotch, Bright Eyes, and Myrrh. I'm gonna have to look this up. I'll put it in the caption of this video what this color is. They changed the name of it, and it's the old color, which is Myrrh. It was from the advent calendar that they did. So I'll put it in the caption in case you guys like this combo, then you can add this in. But using this small side, I'm gonna use Butterscotch as my wash color. So as you can see, these colors are so pigmented. Let me swatch these for you guys really quick on my hand. So there's that one. Of course, I'm swatching them at full pigment. You know, Bright Eyes is one of my absolute favorites. Look how pretty that is. Again, these are full pigment. And then I'm using this one. Oh my gosh, did you guys just hear my stomach? And then I'm gonna use this one on the inner corner of my eye. Okay, so is that not such a pretty combo? Okay, so going into Butterscotch, we're just going to apply this in circular motions. If you have hooded eyes, make sure that you're coming up and above. Don't stay down here in the crease because then your eyeshadow will disappear. Okay, and then I love this brush. It used to be called the Eyeshadow Everything brush. Now it's just called the eyeshadow brush. It really is everything. I never wore eyeshadow until I found this brush and these eyeshadows. They're just so pigmented. They move and they blend so. If you get too much on, don't blow. Always do this, okay? You don't want to get bacteria on your brushes. But they move on your eyelid so flawlessly, so easily. And as you can see, I really don't need to tap into anymore. Now, when you're applying your eyeshadow, just a little eyeshadow tip, just like anything, even with when I did my eyebrows, start where you want the most pigment, pack it on right there, and then move it around, okay? And then start to open your eye up so that you can see what it looks like when you open your eyes, okay? And then I'm just going to do a little bit on my bottom lash line. So I do this in place of eyeliner. I love to contour my eyes and it just looks really beautiful. And if you want to clean that up, grab your blend brush that you applied your accent highlight with and use what's left on the brush. Do not add more product and just kind of clean that area up, okay? Okay, so next I'm just gonna go in with my fluffy end again, and I'm just gonna go into Bright Eyes. And I'm going to apply that to the bottom lash line center and just a little bit into the inner corner, but I'm gonna focus most of it on the bottom half of my eye and then just kind of blend that right there. You can kind of see right there. Okay, my eyelashes, I'm getting them done soon. That one seems to keep flicking up. Okay, so as you can see, and then you can, if you want to, just use what's left on your brush and just kind of blend it in to the crease line shade. So Bright Eyes that I just applied that shimmer, that's called the wash. That the area, the application style that I just did, that's called a wash. You can do that with one color. This is the crease line shade. Your crease line, you always want to use a matte color, okay? But your wash, you can use a matte color or a shimmer color, okay? I just cleaned my brush with this brush cleanser. That's also why I like this brush cleanser, because you don't need to have a ton of eyeshadow brushes because it's so easy to clean. So now that that's clean, I can just really go in and fluff this out. Also grab that brush cleaning tile if you have a lot of eyeshadows and you go in between and you don't have your brush cleanser because you're on the go. That's a great way to dust off any excess product on here so that you can switch in between colors. Okay, and then going into the smudgy side, I'm going to go into Myrrh, and I'm going to apply this to the inner corner of my eye because it's the brightest shade. And it just really flows pretty into the Bright Eyes and the other ones. And I love this smudgy side because it really gets the detail work and it gets right in the corner of your eye. So pretty. And then I love to just take this color and do like a rainbow. Look how pretty that is into everything else. That is so pretty. Another thing that you can do is just take that smudgy side and do your brow bone. Right there. So, so pretty. Okay, and then just you can do that little corner right there. Clean up anything. If you guys are commenting, I'm so sorry. Facebook doesn't always show comments. Oh, good. Okay, I actually just got yours. Rhonda's still here. Now that I'm watching you, I think I need to go shopping. Oh my gosh. Well, you can't go wrong with this stuff. You will have it for a lifetime. It's so good. And it's just, you'll be so happy that you did, Rhonda. But isn't that so gorgeous? I love this combo. I'll put that link, I'll put my entire palette that I used today in the comments. But it's such a pretty look. I'm just gonna put a little bit of balm. If you guys know me, I don't wear really lip colors. I don't wear lipstick on my lips. I like tints. And so I always do a gloss, but I am going to do that balm. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of this baby watermelon that I did on my lips. And just put a little bit. So as you can see, if you use a gloss or a balm first, and then you use your lip and cheek colors, it's not as pigmented. And it turns it into a gloss because this is a matte color. This is one of the satin ones. As you can see, it's right there. That does not look like it does on my lips, but when you do it with a balm, you can make it really soft. And then I just like to use my brushes and what's left on there, and I like to clean it up. You guys, there is the finished product. That is how you use this amazing collection that's on sale today only. So if you do want any of this and you're like, forget, oh my gosh, okay, what do I need? This is what I want to use it for. Reach out to me, text me, or DM me, or just comment and I can have a conversation. You're welcome, Rhonda. Thank you. And I'll help you. But this is so perfect to get with the brow wax. And if you want to have your eyebrow color in your palette, let me know and I can color match you to an eyebrow shade. Otherwise, I recommend using a cream if you want it to be more complete uniform brows, but if you just want to fill in for a really light shade, I recommend using an eyeshadow. Okay, so that's what I use the line brush for. Just a little recap. Eyeshadow brush, so great. Contour brush, and a light coverage makeup application brush. Now again, they have so many different uses. This one I use for my powder illuminators, and then I can flip over to this side, use my powder illuminator as an eyeshadow. Very universal. And then otherwise I use it for blush. You can use it for bronzer, but that's how I wanted to use it for a full makeup look for you guys. But you can also use any of this brush for just accent in addition to your other brushes that you have. So there's a lot of different uses. But I hope that you have a beautiful day. I hope that this helped you. I'm always here for you guys as your virtual makeup assistant and friend. And I just, again, thank you. We'll see you later. We'll chat with you soon. And I can't wait to see what you guys pick out. That's one of my favorite things about getting my emails about the orders that you guys do, is I get to see what you're adding to your collection and what you're doing. And I'm like, I get to envision it on you. And again, I'm always here. I hope you guys know, and I hope you're receiving them. But after every time that you place an order, you will receive a complimentary link to book an appointment with me if you need help in applying the colors that you got or using the tools that you ordered or anything like that. I'm always here for you guys to teach you, help you, support you in your makeup. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Love you all.